Decision does not come naturally for some of us. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how building the skill of decision making can give you more time, more confidence, and more satisfaction in your life. I'm Missy Hughes. I'm a productivity coach. I help teach you how to get things done and feel better in each step of the process. Go to the comments of this video and use the link to my calendar to sign up for a free consultation where you can see where you're feeling heavy and making decisions and weighed down. And we can shift that heaviness and confusion into feelings of certainty and clarity. So I don't love making decisions. I ask myself questions like, what if I do it wrong? What if I choose the wrong one? What if I make a mistake? What if people think I've made a mistake? What if it doesn't turn out well? Now, listen, these questions might seem reasonable. You may ask yourself these questions too. I mean, there it is some fear whenever you're making a choice that it might not produce the outcome that you want, especially if it's something big like buying a car or changing a job or moving to another town or deciding on a trip. But what about something that's not so big? What about just day to day decisions that you make every day in your life? If those are also hard, like they have been for me, then it really can impact your life. So pause here and tell me in the comments, what small decision have you been avoiding today? What's something that weighs you down that you think, this isn't a big deal. It should be easy, but it doesn't feel easy to you? Tell me. I read every comment. So I do things like I don't want to go to the grocery store because I don't want to make the decisions of what to buy on the list. So sometimes I'll go and I haven't decided in advance. So now I'm looking at every section of the grocery store and I'm making decisions as I go. But it takes longer because I don't want to miss anything. So I'm cruising down every aisle instead of just the aisles I know I need. So all of the sudden, I've spent an hour and a half in a building that doesn't even have windows, and I've bought twice as much as I need. So it's cost me time and it's cost me money to not make those decisions ahead of time. How about I don't want to make a food plan because I don't know how hungry I'll be or what I'll want to eat. So I don't look ahead and I don't realize there's a chunk of my day where I'm back to back with things and I'm not going to have an opportunity to prepare a meal, to decide, then prepare, then eat a meal. So I don't eat. And then I get super hungry and then I overeat, making terrible food choices, and I don't feel overfull and bloated, probably, and groggy. So, not making that decision ahead of time has cost me time and my energy. What about another decision opportunity? I I don't want to decide on the actions I'll take in my work because I don't really know what is the best thing for me to be doing. So when I don't make the decisions of what I'm going to do ahead of time, I just do whatever comes right in front of me. And everything that's right in front of me feels like the most important thing because I haven't decided what's a priority. I haven't decided what's important to me, what I'm connected to. So it's easy to make the decision. What I'm connected to is what's happening right now. um, Even though that might not be the most significant thing for me to do. So later, I feel like I am ragged, I'm drained at the end of the day, but I feel like I've got nothing done. So now that's also costing me time again and the feeling of satisfaction because I don't feel good about what I've done in the day, even though I'm harried from doing all the things that I had to do. So, the skill to develop is not how do I get great at making decisions, but rather how do I actually practice the skill of making decisions? I'm choosing to make a decision. Doesn't matter if it's a huge decision or if it's a small decision, it's intentionally connecting. So, something that makes this easier is connecting to your future self. So I want you to picture this. You've been surprised with a vacation. You have no idea where you're going, and you definitely didn't prepare to go. So someone else has booked the ticket, chosen the spot, packed all of your bags, put everything that you need. And this isn't just some schmo off the street packing for you. This is somebody who loves you and cares that you feel completely comfortable, prepared, and at ease during this amazing vacation. Look, I am so in for this. Um, this is the skill of connecting with your future self. When you think about, oh, when I'm in this scenario, I'm going to want these things, this dress, this sunscreen, this hat. I'm going to want to have all these. I want to be prepared in these ways. You get to be that person when you can connect to what am I going to love when? Now you may not know, okay, what am I going to love to eat? I don't know, but I tell you what I'm really going to love is not being hungry. As a for instance. So that skill of of connecting to your future self, you get to be that thoughtful person. You get to be the person who takes amazing care of you. You get to be that person who loves you and knows you so well that they can make sure that you feel at your best. So, it also, when you connect to your future self and you make decisions ahead of time, it also takes off some of the pressure. When you're not in the moment choosing the decision, preparing for it, and then doing it all in the same chunk of time, then you get to sort of like take a step back. You're breathing a little bit. It's not all happening just right now. You get to decide, how do I want to feel? What will it feel like if I choose? Excuse me, choose option one. What will what will it be like if I choose option two? What's the best case scenario of each option? What's the worst case scenario? And how would I show up for that? Also, does it matter that much? Is this a big thing? If it doesn't go exactly as I planned, is that going to ruin my day? Maybe not in some cases. If I decided an apple instead of an orange, I mean, no biggie here. Like, I don't really care. I just, again, want to not be hungry. Um, so is there some little thing that I can be happy about either way? When you aren't under pressure, you also open up your creativity. You're a better problem solver. You get more efficient with your time. You get more clear about the money you want to spend. You get to feel better in your mind and in your body. So I want to take you through, I want you to look at either today, if it's early and you've got the rest of the day to go, or yesterday. And I want you to notice, where did you feel rushed or confused or urgent, or did you feel behind in your day? When you see that, when you notice that feeling, oh, yeah, it was when this happened, think about what was happening in that moment. Now that you can see the scene and know what was happening in that moment, what were the choices that you needed, that you were deciding? What were the choices you could have made? You made a decision and you may not have even realized it, but now I want you to go back and say, what were the choices that I had? And then what did you decide to do? Go back and also say, what other decision could I have made? What avenue could I have taken? So now that you have the hindsight of 2020, how do you feel about the choice that you made? Would you have made the same decision again? Right now, you get to see the consequences of the choice that you made, so you can use that information. But also, you don't have the pressure of acting right now because it's off. It already happened, right? You don't have a pressure. You can't change it at this point. So you don't have that pressure of acting right now. You get to the opportunity to think about your past thoughtfully. Excuse me. Now I want you to look forward to tomorrow. What do you have going on? What decision do you need to make for tomorrow? What decisions are you going to be making depending on what's going on in your life? Are there decisions that you can make right now that will make tomorrow a little bit smoother or a little bit easier or a little bit more delightful? How are you feeling? And this is a big one. How are you feeling about making those decisions right now? So, as I'm asking you to do that, what comes up for you? One thing that comes up for me or had in the past is the idea that when I make a decision, it's the last decision I'm ever going to make on this subject. So it's got to be the best one. I used to put so much pressure because I thought I only had one chance to make the decision. And so I couldn't change my mind. What was done was done. And because I was always making them in the moment, I couldn't change it later. Also, it was kind of true, that feeling. But I dreaded making decisions in advance because I was like, well, I'm not going to have a chance to, I'm going to have to live with it if it's not right. And then I'd go back to that line of thinking from the beginning where it's like, what if I do it wrong? So I want you to take the pressure off and think, if I'm looking ahead and making a decision, it's like a rough draft decision. You get the opportunity to say, right now in this moment, I think I'll make this decision. It seems like it'll be thoughtful for me. But I can, if I get in that moment and need to adjust it, I can. I give myself permission to adjust, to change my mind. I also take the pressure off and I get to let my mind be creative. Okay, here's my rough draft decision. And then your mind's going to try to find all the ways that it's a terrible decision. So you get to problem solve. But because you don't have that pressure of making the decision right now, then you get more creative. You're a better problem solver. And so you can find solutions if you need to. So when you practice looking just a little bit ahead and focusing on the decisions, making them in advance, you'll start to develop a sense of confidence. You'll start to trust yourself more. You'll start to believe that you have the ability to make decisions. And the best part, you get to feel calm instead of urgent and pressured and heavy, and it's weighing you down. So you no longer have to cram that decision making process into the completion of making the decision, preparing for, and completing the task all in that one space. The calm that comes from that is truly a gift to yourself. So, if this has helped you rethink your approach to decision making, hit like and subscribe for more weekly tips on how to make your life simpler and smoother. I look forward to seeing you next week.